Good afternoon. Without wasting our time, I want to appreciate all of you for coming on board today. It is a beautiful evening here right in the United Kingdom. I want to appreciate you. I want to say you're all recognized. Because of the time frame and the seriousness of the topic we have today, I will not be able to mention names one by one, but please like and share straight away. A public video is always for public. A public video is always for public. So there is never where it is written that anyone cannot share my video once it's in the public domain. So the videos are for you once they are on my timeline, you know. So it is never said anywhere that the video cannot be shared. So I take that seriously. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you and I want to appreciate you. Please like and tag people and let them come on board. Invite people that are not here or that are not aware of it. Please invite them. The mission today is straightforward and is to go into the business of today's topic and to discuss exactly why we are having Women's Summit today. The Women's Summit topic today, first of its kind on this platform 2019, is to encourage us, is to punch us, is to talk what needs to be discussed, you know, without being biased or taking anybody out of context. I want people to take this topic very seriously. It might not be you, it might be useful for someone, but trust me, it could be you or your daughter or your son that this thing will be useful for at the end of the day. So I want you to take it serious. I have undergone series of training on this topic that I'm dealing with, and I have no problem in sharing with the public at large. And my mission in 2019 is to ensure that I want to be a public speaking person, and I want to encourage myself to continue to excel from one angle to another in terms of dishing out information and let people take common sense from it. I take my topic, I take my work very seriously, so I am not a joker when I come on board here. My mission is to discuss and to discuss the issues faced women, that women of nowadays are facing in their relationship, and especially those who are just getting married. And in order to curb the problem and situation on board, you know, at the moment, is to discuss matter as it's been needs to be discussed, you know, straight away to the point. There is no fingers to point blame to anyone at this particular time, other than to encourage everybody to take common sense from it and share, like and share, and invite your friend. The essence of today's one is just to talk about the issues that people are facing in homes, and what are the issues that they can do, what are the steps to take to correct themselves. You know, I think that's what we should be talking about. You know, the step to take to correct problems in at home. It has been coming to me in the past. If I say a week or two, I'm lying. It's more than that, you know. It's more than that. The issues of women and men having problem in homes, and people are not able to understand what they are going through and how to go about it. Let me first of all encourage you women on board there that you are a multiplier. Women, you know, a woman is a multiplier, a woman is a multitask, a woman is all-rounder, a woman is gifted, a woman is somebody that can handle tasks out of all, you know, angle at any time without having any headache or problem to deal with it. So if you are a woman, you should count yourself lucky. If you are a woman, you can count yourself lucky. As a woman, you will be a multiplier, a multitask person. You have your hands to do so many things at the same time without complaining. You know, and as a woman, I want to encourage you, you have to be a God-fearing person, as a family woman, as a woman, because if you are laid back in your prayer, it will affect the whole chain in the house. So you have to be more stronger than he in the house, because Satan at the moment is looking for who to devour. And relationship expert is saying that where Satan is really putting his eyes into is marriage and relationship, because they know that if two of you come together in one and you are able to find unity and understanding and communication, then Satan is in trouble. He will not be able to you know, have his way into your family life. So as a result of that, I want to encourage you as a woman dear that don't forget your role, your task in anything that you do in life at home, that you are a multiplier, you are a multitask. So also, I want to encourage you, I want to push you, I want you to know that you got to give it a go. You got to give it a go. If you don't give it a go, it's going to be very difficult to move it forward, you know. And let me tell you one thing again, as part of the topic and summit we are talking about today. Women, you cannot continue to say, I am beauty, I am beauty, I am beauty. Beauty does not take you to anywhere other than taking you to a notice. Your beauty does not find you what you want other than to take you a notice. A beauty without an attitude to life is very bad. You know, so when you say I'm beautiful, I'm pretty, I can easily find somebody better, you have to be careful, because you might not be the same way if you're thinking that that's the way forward. So I want to encourage you. I want you to know that in the Bible, Ruth is more beautiful than Naomi. And when you look at the kind of situation like that, it is so easy for Ruth to say, listen, I am finer than you, Naomi, and I choose not to bow before thee. But you will realize that at the end of the day, Ruth bowed for Naomi. What I want to say in that aspect is that we need a great of humility in what we do in life. So when we as a woman in the house, our position is very, very important. You know, our position is very, very important at home. If we can manage to have a little bit of humility in everything that we do, it will make us go smoothly in life. Not only that, let me reassure you as a woman, because I'm a woman, I'm a bona fide woman. I can assure you that when you have a bit of humility in the journey, it gives you peace of mind. It gives you peace of mind, it gives you joy, it gives you happiness, and it makes you gloom more. A lot of people have texture to gloom more, but they did not give themselves rest of mind. They do not manage their business. And that is why I'm having Women's Summit today. I want you to have your man around you. I want you to have a man next to you. I want them to know that this thing is about them and you. It's not about putting blame to anyone. It's about how to get it right. But the first protocol of moving it forward to get it right is through a woman in the house. If there's a problem today in a home, you have to trace it back to a woman first. You know, you have to trace it back to a woman first. Now, a lot of people have come to me and explained problems that they are having with their husband. Typical example, a man go to Nigeria to go and a man previously have a wife in Nigeria, with 4 children, coming to United Kingdom, chasing the young lady and get married to the young lady, and tell the young lady that, oh, you are beautiful, you are my white wedding lady, let's get married. After all sorts of hustles and headache, the lady agreed and followed him down to Nigeria. They got married and came back to do papers for him, not knowing that he has a living for a woman and 4 children in Nigeria. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we have the Women's Summit today is that there is something in my language that says that if a woman lost the gravity of attitude, how to behave in life, you might not get the whole thing right at the end of the day. You might miss the channel. Sometimes people say, oh, I don't have, my man doesn't pick me, or man doesn't like me. There's a problem, there is this, there is that. Sometimes the problem could be from you. Because what men does want in life is that they want a woman that will respect them, put them in their position. Nowadays, I notice that the salary increase and inflation is there. So a lot of women earn more money than their husband. There is something they call spiritually that some women this time around, God bless them more than their husband. That is not bona fide for your attitude. That is not an encouragement for you to misbehave in your home. That is not an encouragement to look down onto a man that you both of you have agreed to come in union as one. So it's not an opportunity for you to do that. Now, the point I am trying to raise today is that the Women's Summit today is to let women understand. A woman must understand the language communicated by her husband. If you manage to understand the language communicated by your husband, you understand his scenario, you understand his chemistry, you understand his physics, you understand his biology, you understand his mathematics, it will assist you in the journey of life to be able to make sense to what you are doing, to be able to have a good communication, a good rapport with him. Now, some homes lack communication. And when I say some home lacks communication, they lack it. They lack communication in a way that they don't discuss matter with each other. They don't even discuss the development of their children. Not to not talk about where they want to retire, where they want to end up being. A lot of people want to, in many homes here, some want to be in England. Some men want to have their home in Nigeria. Why the wife says, no, I don't want to go to Nigeria, I want to stay in England. Now, there's going to be a problem in that aspect. There's going to be a broken home in that aspect. Because the man said, I want to go to Nigeria. So what you have to do is to see if you can find a balance. And say, okay, we will go to Nigeria to stay there, but summertime or wintertime in England, we will be in Nigeria as our retirement home. And summertime, at least you'll be coming back to England because you possibly still have investment in England, or you have a home in England. You see, the problem we are having in today's marriage and relationship is as a result of egoism. Both male and female are struggling. to understand each other. They do not have a borderline communication as to when to draw line. To draw line of understanding, line of communication. And as a result of that, women are struggling to understand their husband, and men does not physically, they're not mentally strong to take it in a way that women want to introduce it. So as a result of that, they think the best option is for them to stretch themselves and look for another alternative. Alternative is to have infidelity, is to have affairs, you know, to have another woman outside. But it's not an alternative to the problem on ground. A problem shared is a problem solved. When there is a problem in relationship, the only way forward is to think of how to resolve it. If you're not thinking of how to resolve it, there is no automatic lineage to marriage. It won't last. It won't last. Many ladies of today's day think that because they earn more salary than their husband, they think they have arrived. Oh no, you haven't arrived, because you have a long way to go. With your salary alone, you cannot marry to yourself. With your salary alone, you cannot take care of yourself. Don't let anyone tell you that they don't need a man in their life. They are lying. They are lying. It's loneliness that causes it. At the end of the day, it's loneliness. So there is no way. But if you say you are having a man in your life to just buy time, you are killing yourself before your time. There is nothing called buy time in relationship, because you have wasted your time to be with him for a certain period of time. So you're not buying time, you're wasting time. What you don't like, you don't smell it, you don't get close to it. So there is nothing called buying time when we're looking at relationship aspects. Buying time is when you are submitting documentation, when you are having a legal litigation in court, when you are saying, I done this, let me buy time to do this so that I can get the document abroad, overseas. Then you can buy time. It is so impossible for you to buy time in a scenario whereby you are in a relationship. So what you have to do is to understand what the needs of the family are. If you don't understand the needs of your family, you will be wasting time. There is no marriage that is up there and is perfect. Everybody is trying. If you're looking for Mr. Right, it's going to be forever and ever. Check yourself, lady. You are well created. God put you there for a purpose. God put you there. It is after when God created women that he will now say, I can now rested. Because there is an assistant to a man. So Eve was created for Adam's purpose, so that the family union can be completed. And without us, it is so impossible for them to do anything. If they don't do it with you, believe me, they do it with another woman outside. They revert to another woman to assist them. What I want to encourage you is that you need to have your head cool down. And you have to have a kind of a situation whereby it's C. I am not talking about Celestial Church of Christ. When we say C, you have to be cool, calm, and connected. If you're not cool, you're not calm, and you're not connected, it makes life difficult for you and for those who are around you. So you got to have that scenario of C. There are some situations that you don't have to scream. There are some situations that you don't have to make noise. You just have to follow it on and see how far it can head. Now, another way to look at situation on ground is to see if you can communicate. Communication is the key to aspect of everything. If you are not a good communicator, you are going to lose everything. And when you are communicating, you do not need to make noise. Only last week alone, and this week alone, not even last week, that's just Friday. From Monday to Friday, I have got 4 scenarios of ladies coming to report their men to me, telling me that their men have got living outside without their knowledge, and they do not know each other. Now, the problem I want to point out to you is that what are the reasons why these guys have living outside? Something must have prompted them to the issue that it's so difficult for them to accept or to take the problem at home. Don't forget that they are not mentally stronger. They are not mentally strong. I am coming to those guys as well. Don't think that I am battering it. I'm not battering it on anybody. I am trying to educate us. I'm trying to educate us as what others are doing out there. Women Summit on this platform 2019. What I'm saying is that communication is the key aspect. There is no way you can forgo communication in relationship and you want it to survive. It's impossible. Now, the point you have to also understand is that you must never overlook or underestimate your partner in relationship. You must never underestimate your husband, your partner. You cannot do that. You must not overlook him or her. So this is for you, both men and women. You cannot overlook the other person and say, oh, she's an illiterate. She's an illiterate, or she doesn't fit my standard. Don't you know that she does not fit your standard when you brought her into your family? Don't you know that she's an illiterate when you woo her? You remember the sweet day that you went to her to woo her. You should think about that before you now come to a conclusion to say that, oh, she does not suit my family. She does not suit my standard. There is no ready-made. Every woman that you see outside there is made up through a man. Let me take you back to me, myself. It is so impossible for me to do all this job if I don't have the support of my husband. If a woman's mind is not at rest, you will not be able to work in this manner that I am working. Because I am a multiplier, I am a multitask. I am a wife, I'm a professional, I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm anything you want to call me. I'm a public speaking person. So I answer many people at the same time. But if there is no support of my husband in this public work that I am doing, it will be difficult. Because it's the one that will be giving me advice and say, this is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. After when you do this, close it down and go back. Most women that are successful in life, there is a backup of their man there. If you look at Folarunsho Alakija, a typical example, there is no way alone she can do what she's doing. And I stand corrected. There is a man behind her back that is assisting her. Don't let anyone deceive you. It is difficult to do it alone without a man. It is difficult. Even if you're divorced, even if you're a single parent, you still need somebody, a man, to assist you in some of your journey. The man could be your son, helping you. The man could be your brother, but you still need a man in your life. Now, regardless of any situation that you may think you are, that somebody else has not been before, it's a lie. There is nothing that has happened on this planet that someone else may have not, that will not see someone else that have gone through it before. It's not possible. So the point here is that look at yourself again wherever you are sitting and say to yourself that I am going to change my style with my husband. Look at yourself again and say I am going to change my style with my partner. Say it to yourself that I will make sure that I will change my style. Because what he's looking for is just humility, and you get everything you needed. It's just humility. I have come across a lot of people in my life, in my career, and I haven't even come across nobody yet. But I've come across a lot. Both male and female, I have assessed them individually, both from far and from closer. And I've realized that sometimes our own food, we give it to enemy to eat. We will not give our food to enemy to eat, or we will not give our food for dog to eat. Most times, out of arrogancy, ladies give their own man out, and they don't realize. I have just lately today corrected someone that, listen, tell your friend that you want to go and find a house. You don't want to stay in their house again. Because why did I say that? Because the friend is already encouraging her to have a boyfriend when knowing that you know she's a married woman. What kind of life is that? A woman is not a dog. A woman is not a punchy bag. A woman is something that is so delicate to handle. And as such, it is so expected of a man to respect a woman, reciprocate it is, we call it. So it's vice versa. You respect a man will respect you back. One thing I realized as to the reason why a lot of women are going through domestic violence or being maltreated by their men is lack of job, lack of self-esteem, and lack of understanding and communication at home. Now, if you have your greatness of self-esteem with you and you carry that all along at all times, no man will maltreat you. No man will look down at you. No man will take you as a punch bag. They will think twice before they even say the words to you. Even if a mistake occurred outside that they have impregnated a woman, they will want to come and discuss it with you, and they will tell their family that, don't destroy my life for me. Let me undo this situation. Move out of it for me. I can undo it. She's my wife. That is what they call respect. That is what they call respect. But if that respect is not there, you know what he will be saying from his mouth? What would she do if she knows about it? Because you have been running after him unnecessarily, or you have not even respected him at all, you have looked down onto him and thinking that even if you do it, you will kill him. You can't kill him. You can't kill him. You can't. You see, what you have to do is to carry yourself high. Have respect and self-esteem and confidence for yourself first. A lot of women they felt dejected in the society. They felt rejected. They felt so low to handle situation of things. The essence of people like us is to encourage them and advise them the way forward, the way to go through it, the way to go about it. Listen, if a man made mistake outside, he would think twice. In fact, he will be begging friends and family to come to you to come and discuss with you before you even know outside. It will be. That is respect. That is respect. And another thing you ladies would need to know is that you need to empower yourself. Have a job. Have business. If you don't have a 9-to-5 job, have business. If you don't have business, go to school, go and educate yourself. Equip yourself with knowledge, skills, and understanding of the society around you and people around you. Thank you, Kenny. Put value into yourself. Because if you don't put value into yourself and you don't have an income coming in, where I come from, if you don't have a particular profession, you don't have a business, you don't have, if you don't have a profession, you don't have a business, what do you have? You are selling your body as a lady. That's what you will be doing. So, whoever come across you or come to your way, you ask them to pay you before they sleep with you, which is prostitute. And prostitution is not a good way of living. In order not to be categorized or castigated, you have to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Endow yourself with some skills. You know, that's the thing you can buy for yourself for life. Get yourself some skills, knowledge. Empower yourself with that first, and that will enable you to shoot forward. The arrow you want to shoot will go far if you have that self-confidence in you. As a woman, I am encouraging all of you out there, as a woman first, you know, I'm not talking about men. I'll be coming on to them shortly. But the most important thing is that be conversant with the language spoken by your husband. I am not saying Yoruba language, Igbo language, Hausa language, Akran, Kwame, or anything. I'm not saying that. I am saying the body language of your man. I am saying where he goes, the people he meets with, his friends, his carcass, his calibers. Because at the end of the day, whoever he mingle with will affect your relationship, whether it's going to last or not. If your husband or your partner mingles with Dick and Harry, those that doesn't have a background, or those that are on the street and speak street languages, then you are not going to last, because he will come to the house thinking that he has a slave in the house, trying to be poaching you, picking on you, and talking down on you as if you are Miss Nobody. It is true, because he is the type of people he's mingling with. Those are the people that are affecting his thinking. You can be in control of that, because that is your home. You know, that is your home. So you can be in control of that. Find out who your husband, your partner is mingling with. Because if you are not in charge of that, believe me, your relationship will not last if it's mingling with the wrong people. Most times, some men go to prison as a result of the carcass they belong to, as a result of the friends they belong to, as a result of the people they see, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they are affected. But if you're a woman that have a foresight and you can think ahead, your job is to ensure that, listen, I don't think it is appropriate to continue your relationship with this person because it will get you into trouble. Or, my dear, what job is Lagbaja doing, by the way? What is his daily job? Who is his family? You're trying to find out. If your husband is hanging out with some friends at night, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the night, it doesn't make sense to you as a woman in the house. And if you don't challenge it at the appropriate time, it will be too late to challenge me later on in life. Because in every scenario of life, it is important that you take it from the beginning and you check it before it gets escalated. If you don't check it before it gets escalated, it leaves you more than not in a scenario than in a situation whereby it's going to mess you up. It's going to mess you up completely. So you have to be in control in a very decent way. You have to be in control. Because if you're not in control, then it's a big problem. You see, majority of people today are saying that, oh, I don't care, I can be single. They do care, believe me. They do care. They do care. You know, they do care. A lot of people are saying that, oh, I'm single, I'm happy. No, they're not happy. They can't speak out, but they are struggling underneath. Believe me, they're not happy. They are struggling because they are looking for somebody who can understand them. Now, for you to get somebody who will understand you, you have to drop your shoulder. If you don't drop your shoulder, it will be very difficult for you to get a man that will understand you. Because no man wants a woman that will raise their hand upon them. Now, questions come often to me and say, Ma, how do you survive it? How do you do it? Now, let's count fingers. I am 26 years in my marriage. When I married my husband, I have nothing. Both of us are trying to meet the two ends. But because both of us are not a social elite that is in the world carrying friends all over, we have similar character. We mind our business. We don't carry too many friends. We don't even carry friends. I can say this is my husband's best friend. And he can never say this is my wife's best friend. Both of us are best friends to each other. And let me tell you, every journey I make in life, my husband is aware of it. Every journey I make in life, my husband is aware of it. Sometimes he pray for me in his heart and say, God will continue to protect her for me. I know she will go, she will come back. I know she will not sink in his hand. I know she will not sink in their hands. I know she will not get it wrong. I know she's not stupid. I know she's clever. I know she's not daft. That's why he always says. He says, I know she's not daft. I know she knows what she's doing. And that is the right answer. But I prayed for all of us that we will not sink into the hands of enemy. We will not fall into the hands of people that are watching us, that we are not even watching, that we don't even know that they are watching us to hurt us. So in every journey you make in life, if you have a partner or husband, you need to understand each other. Your wife, both of you must come first together as friends. Because if you lost that decorum of having good relationship with your partner or with your husband, it's not going to last. With your wife, it's not your relationship is not going to last because there is a third party in a relationship. Most today's marriage, a lot of things are destroying marriages today. Third parties could be your family as a woman. It could be your husband's family, and it could be friends. It could be community ties. It could be church. It could be somebody else affecting your relationship. And that is why both of you need to have a good understanding of each other. Communication, a good understanding of each other. Because if you don't understand each other very well, your relationship is not going to last. It's not going to go far, no matter what you do, because there is a third party person there. Let me take you to a typical example of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, Princess of Wales. May her soul rest in peace. The reason why that marriage collapsed at the time it collapsed, it was as a result of the third party inside that relationship. And that third party has been there before commencement of that marriage solemnized. The relationship between Prince Charles and Princess Diana of Wales collapsed as a result of third party inside it. That marriage would have lasted, would have gone smooth. Everyone knows that married to a royal family in the United Kingdom, they always have mistress. If you look at Prince William's wedding day, his girlfriend was at the wedding. If you look at Prince Harry's wedding, his former girlfriend was at the wedding. The problem with Prince Charles I and Princess of Wales, Diana, Princess of Wales, was as a result of the third party person that failed to move back for them to realize that they are starting a new life, because she insisted that until she got married to him, she will not leave him. She will not leave them. And it was as a result of that situation that caused early death of the woman. She had early death because of her unsettled relationship with Prince of Wales. Had she had a good marriage, a good morale, a good communication, a good relationship with her husband, her death would not have been so sooner like that. Don't forget that she was young at that time. Far, far young. So it is so difficult for her to endure the situation without a man in her life, thinking that she wants to pay back. Ordinarily, I have seen some women that they think is 50-50. If my husband carry women, I will carry men. Listen, it's not 50-50. One of you will get injured in the journey. It isn't 50-50 at all. Don't let anyone deceive you that the relationship or the situation is 50-50. You hurt me, I hurt you back. No, that is not marriage. You will never find balance in that kind of scenario. To find proper balance in a scenario, you've got to really have a good communication between each other. There has to be a rapport between two of you. There must not be a relationship of boss and staff. Because every relationship that is having boss and staff, controlling your wife as if she's nobody, or talking to your husband as if you have arrived, that relationship will not go far. It basically means you are in an employment relationship. Even today's employment, we don't talk to staff anyhow. We say, please, thank you, oh, well done. You accolade them to make sure that they are happy at work. Because when a staff is not happy at work, then there is a problem with the employer as well. And it's the same thing with relationship. If you are not happy in your relationship, then the marriage will collapse. There is no doubt about that. That marriage will collapse in no time because somebody is not happy. And somebody that is not happy, at the end of the day, will possibly be discussing it with a third party outside. And some third parties are daft. They don't have the encouragement to encourage and say, no, don't do that. Do this. I think both of you need time. Go away. Two of you go on holiday. And that brought me to the next topic. Some couples that have never gone on holiday together to understand each other. Even if you want to use it as an excuse that you don't have papers, you don't need papers to go to Scotland. You don't need papers to go to Cardiff, to go to Wales, to go to Derby, to go to Leeds. And you don't even need papers to go into Premier Hotel any nearby and get out of the environment in the house and use a new environment entirely. You don't need status to do that. Because if you have children around, I know it could affect you. It could affect the extent of communication and the way you do things. I understand. But there's no need for a paper to travel out of the country. You don't need paper to travel into Premier Inn Hotel, to go to Scotland, to go to Wales, to go to Aberdeen, to go to Edinburgh, to go anywhere in the United Kingdom. You don't need papers. You don't need papers. And if you are elsewhere outside UK, you don't need papers. All you need is to pull out of the house, pick a bag, and go on weekend. But a lot of people do not even have the thought of it. They have never even think of it that this is something that they want to do. You understand? It is very important that out of nowhere, you find time. You see, in life, money cannot buy you happiness. Money is only assisting your happiness. Money can never buy you happiness. I remember in those days, Hilton Paris has a legacy that the father left for her. But she never happy. Never happy. So money can't buy you happiness. A lot of people think money can get them what they want once they get money and buy Gucci and buy whatever they want to buy. They think they have arrived. You haven't arrived. Because the space of happiness is different from the space of making money. They're not the same. They're not the same. They work separately. Money is good for living. It's part of living, but it does not bring happiness. It does not bring happiness. And for you to have overall control of your family, of your house, of your home, you got to understand what your woman wants. If you don't know what your woman wants in the house as a man, then you lack that leadership skill. You see, it is not every time that a man must respond back to a woman. It is not every time. There are some times you should look at the scenario that what if she's my baby sister? As a man, you have to look at it at what if she's my baby sister? What if she's my daughter? If she said that, am I going to kill her? Because sometimes a woman's mouth can be rolling like a roller coaster and talking rubbish. Believe me, a woman's mouth can be like that. But the only way out of the situation of things is to ensure that you as a man, you look at it back in another scenario, in another angle, and say, what if she's my sister? Am I going to smack her? Am I going to beat her because she said that? So you got to look at that angle again. And that brings me to the line of encouraging you, man, to stand upright. Put your head straight and don't bend your shoulder when you are talking to your woman. Don't. Always be there as a dad. And when a father is talking to a daughter, there is always a solemn way of dealing with your daughter. You know that as a man. And that's the way I want you to handle your woman in the house. Hold your daughter as your wife as your daughter. Respect her as if she's your daughter. Talk to her in a respectable way. If a woman is talked to in a proper way, they're not going to be arrogant to you, unless if she's sick in her head. She's not going to be arrogant to you, not at all. You know, so you need that kind of attitude to put yourself in a situation as a man. There has never been a way that God created it equally for man and woman. Listen, I have been studying law all my life, and it's the only job I have ever been doing in my lifetime. I have researched on Equal Pay Act. I have looked at Equal Pay Act from the beginning to the end. Most women take it to court, like BBC women. They want to do the same job. They claim that they're doing the same job as a man. Believe me, when you look at the print, small print, at the end of the day, there's going to be a small fine line that man will use to be ahead of you in the act. There's going to be a small thin line that the man will use to be ahead of you as a woman. And as a result of that, there can never be equal opportunity, equal right for men and women in the same house to think that husband and wife are equal. No. There is a leader and there is an assistant. Any woman that accepts that my husband is the breadwinner, my husband is the leader, my husband is in charge of the house will not have headache. You see, my husband will call me to some things. He will not call me to some things because he knows that I'm a real woman. I will even put my quit cover on my head when that thing is happening so that I sleep properly like a woman and let him sort it out in the house. Trust me. My husband knows when to call me and invite me to a situation. He knows when to invite me into a situation. He knows when to not to invite me. He will even say, don't invite your mother. Don't invite your mother. He will say it. And when I want to handle things, our position as a woman in the house is different. We as a woman, we know when to buy food in the house. We know what the house needs. We know what to buy. We know how to spend money. Some women of nowadays, some of their money they're supposed to spend into their house, they spend it on party wears. They spend it on cream. They spend it on jewelries. They spend it on unnecessary things. And food will be lacking in the house. That is not a proper way of handling your home. You need to change your style. You need to change your system. The problem of today's date is as a result of women not taking our role seriously in the house. A man that's gone out to work and you have gone out to work, but you got into the house before him, you should get the food ready. Trust me. That's your problem. If you can't cook the food, order the food. As long as you find the food on the table. I do it sometimes when I'm tired. That's my problem. That's not his problem. It's my problem. Believe me. It's my problem to make sure that he meet food in the house. Because we didn't get home at the same time. If we get into the house at the same time, it's a different ball game entirely. We can start to cook together. Anyone can start and do the business together. That is our problem. That is our relationship problem. It's nobody's problem. But if I manage to get into the house before him, I am not boasting. I need to get his food ready. And when I want to get his food ready, if I am tired, listen, if I'm tired, the way God has helped us on social media, Uber Eats is there. Yes, don't let anybody tell you, because everybody does it. Uber Eats is there. Because my husband likes to eat solid all the time. So Uber Eats is there, and I order through Tasty straight away. Anywhere in the world, or 805, it is your money that you will spend. 805 will deliver. Anywhere you are in London, 805 will deliver. Tasty will deliver. I'm not trying to advertise for them, but I'm afraid they are Nigerian people, they are African, or a lot of African attend them. You know, but I'm not doing advert for them. They're big already. You know, it doesn't matter the color or the nationality of the person you marry to. The language spoken, the chemistry is what is crucial. I don't believe in that scenario because I have so many cases before me that I want to put before you today, and let us get it right once and for all. You see, it's a matter of understanding, and let us know what the man wants, what my wife wants. Many of you guys there, you have never even thought of buying your wife a birthday present. And that is very important. A birthday present, a Valentine's Day present, and of course, marriage anniversary. How many times have you remembered to buy your wife those kind of things? How many wives have you remembered to bring home a gift or perfume surprise for your wife and say, listen, darling, I know you love perfume. Do you want this? I know you love this. Do you want this? How many times have you done that? You have to think from that angle. You see, relationship does not mean start and end. Relationship means you have to rejuvenate it. You have to open it all the time, rejuvenate, you know, redress it, you know, make it happen. Every time when you're having, you're making it happening, you're doing it all over again, you are making the other person happy. You're challenging that relationship and say, I want to take it far. I want to take it more. I want to do more. I want to do this for him. I want to do this for her. I'm asking you as a man, how many times have you ever thought of it in your lifetime that it is important? For example, this wedding ring you are looking at, yeah? You know, it doesn't have to be for you don't have to use the same one. You don't have to use the same ring that you use at the exchange date. This ring in my hands now, these rings now, it could be the 4th time or 5th one in 26 years. Oh, yes. Because I got married to him in 1993. So this year is 26. You understand? Now, this ring is not the first one. And I'm very confident it's not going to be the last one. Because we've changed so many times. And who changed it? It's my husband that will change it. My husband will decide to buy another engagement ring, another wedding ring. And in the house, he give all of the old one back to me. So if I want to pawn, if I'm the kind of person that pawned money, pawned jewelries for money, to get jewelries, to take jewelries for the pawned people and get money, I can easily get them because some of them are 18 karat. I can easily make money on them because every time he change it, he give back to me the old ones and say, listen, take those 2. And it's even 3 because he changed the engagement one and change the wedding ring as well for me. And when he's changing mine, he's changing his own because it has to be the same set all the time. How many times have you thought of that, my brother out there? When you change rings, it's as if you are making the vow again. You are starting all over and said, don't forget the day we met. And you are bringing that vow again. You are refreshing that relationship. It's very important. It is so, so crucial. You must always encourage yourself to do things differently from the usual one. Because if you don't do things differently from the usual one, believe me, you get bored. People are saying that, oh, marriage is very boring. Marriage can be very boring for you because you have a different mission. Relationship can be very boring for you because you have a different mission. If you don't have a different mission, I'm an old school. Don't forget, I am an old school. I got married 26 years back. The reason why I got married at that time is to have focus on my career. And I thank God for that. Because had I not got married at that time, I'll probably have problem with men. Because as we speak, I will not lie to you. Big men want me, even though they know that I have given birth to all the children on this planet from my bed, my stomach, my womb. Big men are still asking me, please. And I'm asking them, you're not stupid, you're not sleeping. I'm a married woman. I made a vow already. I'm in relationship, I'm in marriage. But believe me, it's because I maintain myself. That is why they think it happens to me overnight. It did not happen. It's because I try to find peace for myself. And the only way to find peace for yourself as a woman, don't let me short talk you, is to play the game along as well. If you don't play with a man along, you're not going to have peace. Forget it. I am not lucky in any format because I have had my shares. And there are trials and turbulence in my relationship. It wasn't that smooth and rosy from the day one. Is it the time that I have faced his family headache in dealing with some of his family, their anti-agony, that they want to control your life, they want to control your destiny? Is that the time you want me to talk about? Is that the time that I will cry back to my husband and say, listen, this is what I've gone through again? Is it the time that my husband will call one of his sisters and say, what is all this nonsense? For God's sake, I didn't tell you that I want to get married. You are the one that said I'm getting old. Is it the time that my husband will say, hey, the formula mother, why don't you leave this child girl alone? She's young. Is that the time you want me to think of? Or is it the time that you've done something, you think you want to have your family, your husband family close to you, you love them dearly, or you want to talk about the time that they just gang up against you, they want to start talking to you as a slave, they want to bring you down as if you're nobody? Is that the time you want to tell me that I am lucky? There is nothing called lucky. It's just you have to be wise. There is nothing called lucky. Because if you dance to their tone and you leave them, you will lose your husband. Because what they are looking for is to come in as a third party so that you will be using them to get through to your husband. But if you allow them to come in between you, their space as a sister, as a brother is different from my space as a wife. And they know that I am not blocking them, but I'm not interested in their games. If the moment you accepted that game of third party, sister-in-law, mother-in-law playing that games, you're dead. Your marriage is gone. My mother-in-law is not an issue. My mother-in-law is not a problem. My mother-in-law is not an headache. But my husband got siblings from the same mother of his. And I don't care whether they are listening or not. If you allow them to go in, they will have ruined that relationship the way they like it. Because what they were looking for is to make sure that you as a wife will be coming through them before you talk to your husband. Or you will be reporting to them whenever your husband misbehaves. But if you don't apply wisdom, before you realize you have got into that trap, and it will be too late for you to come out. You understand? So you have to play the wisdom. And in anything in life you do, it's wisdom you need. Because if there is no wisdom in the journey, you have problem, you know. In a scenario whereby you have problem, yes, you can call in. You can call in if you want to call. You can call in, yeah. You know, in a scenario whereby you have problem with your husband and his families are not even good at all, then you're stuck. The next person you have to revert to is God. Because the situation when I'm going through that, I revert to God immediately on my knees. And if you have a very good mother, what my mother encouraged me to do at that time is that ignore them and call on your God, go on your knees, and always play music instead of you thinking about family feud or problem. Because at that time, they were having problem among themselves as well. Jealous cousin, jealous brother, jealous sister, jealous this. They were jealous of each other. So some of them were keeping malice at each other at the period I got into their family. So it was a very difficult period. And because of what they have started it with each other in England, They possibly end up with each other having malice and thinking about each other's mistake all the time. But the good news of it all is that my husband applied wisdom in dealing with his family and dealing with me. Because I don't come as an intermediary. I never get involved in their affairs. But what I did is that I face the business I come for. Because if you don't face the business you come for, they're going to take you off your ground. They'll take you off. So as a woman, the point is that you need to stand. You know, you need to stand for yourself. Stand for yourself and know what you believe. Because if you don't stand for yourself and know what you believe, it's going to be difficult. We are on Women's Summit 2019 Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye platform. Thank you. Do you want to talk? You want to talk? Yes, please lower your device. Lower your device.
Good evening, Mike.
Good evening to you. Thank you.
That's a very interesting topic you brought this evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
It happened to me, you know. You know, when me and my husband got married, I was in Nigeria, and later he brought me and to join him, you know. I didn't really know most of his family because they were living here, except the one that came for my wedding. That was 2008. So when I joined him 2014, I came over. So since then we're having issue of childbirth and all that. So we were still waiting upon God, and eventually God answered us in 2018. And before then, you know, they would tell me, oh, we are praying for you to get pregnant and all that, with all the mockery and all that.
That's your husband's family, isn't it?
Yes. Immediately I took him. The whole thing, the whole hell broke loose. The sister was fighting. The mother was fighting. In the sense that the sister would call my husband and said, can you please tell your wife not to be putting food inside the freezer because my mother cannot defrost it to eat. I was like, even if you want to say anything like that, you should call me because we're friends. Like, oh, please do not put this inside the freezer. Mama said you cannot, you know. They didn't say anything to me. In 2017, when my husband went to Nigeria, they could up a story against me saying that I stabbed their mother, that was why their mother ended up in the hospital. Me, I was pregnant because I took in August 2017. I'm pregnant, and you don't expect me to come and cook, and at the same time going to work. There's already cooked food in the freezer, just for you to bring it up and defrost it. The reason I'm saying is, most of the things you said, actually, I would say I'm a living witness to it, because it happened to me. Because they will pretend as if they are your friend.
Exactly.
And what she was doing is, she'll be in the middle, whatever I want. So the extent that son told me that if you want anything from your husband, just say it to my mom, it's done.
Did you hear that? No. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I said no, because your mom is not my husband's wife. I'm his wife. Whatever I say happens. I said because your mom is his sister, and I respect the relationship. What I'm saying is probably is what she has told her son, that I control my brother. Do you understand? So the extent when my husband came back, my husband was angry. I was like, what's going on? You know, normally you know that your wife that you'll be expected to get pregnant is pregnant. The whole house supposed to be, you know, joyful and all that. So the extent my husband now called my younger sister and said he wants to report me that I stabbed his mom. I said, me. The next time I come from work, I see your mother throwing clothes inside. I will ask, have you eaten? Because there's food at home. She will say yes. After the last time she left, that your people came to took her, and she came back home at 11 p.m. So if she was sick, which husband has now called? They called to come and pick her. He said, I don't know. I said, you have to ask your sister. So the day they called the family meeting, he didn't know I was upstairs. So my husband didn't know I was at home either. And she started. What she said, my enemy will not say that. Immediately I came downstairs. She saw me, she took her bag, and she ran away. So I just looked at her, and I said to my mother-in-law, this is the last. I can't take it no more. I've come to marry your son, not to come and scatter your family. But if you guys don't give me peace, I'm sorry. I don't want a relationship. Let's be as far and the saying hello to each other is better. You know, but ever since they left my house, I won't tell you like my son is going to here now. I've had peace.
You will. You see, that's the bottom line. It will be the most peaceful thing that you have ever wanted in your life.
Yes,
because it's a matter of being confident and have a decision for yourself.
Yes. Then she was thinking I was afraid of her. That I didn't want to confront her. It's not that I didn't know that she was the one doing it. I didn't want to confront her because she was using her mother against me. At the same time, she would call my husband, oh, you see what happened. They said your wife did this, your wife did that. And my husband would not know that that's what the sister wanted to say. My husband would put it on speaker. And by the time she starts talking, the man will not want to take it off again. But the God that I serve just knew that this woman, if I don't give her a child at this particular time, this thing is going to hit her. They will make this man to destroy this room. To the end, honestly, my husband don't renew your wife.
Honestly. Yeah, you've made the right decision, right choice, and that means that your blood pressure will be normal.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Back to Nigeria.
Yes.
My husband was telling his cousin that the child that has been waiting for 14 years, my wife is, my sister is telling me to take her to Nigeria. So when I heard it, he said, no, we are not talking about you. So I said, well, don't worry. The child that she don't want me to give birth here now is not a citizen anyway, so that's not a big deal, you know. But since she hasn't been my friend and I like it like that,
it doesn't matter because what you need is your peace, and that comes first. Yeah. And you have to bear it in mind for everybody out there. Number one is you.
Yeah.
And if something happens to number one, number 2, 3, 4, 5 is in trouble.
Yeah.
So number one is you.
These husband people, I know me, I will feel mother-in-law tomorrow, but giving stress. So the extent my mother-in-law told me that I didn't want her to eat her son's money. I said, what's my own? You know, I just have to I am not in the business of disrespecting elderly, but I just have to tell her it's over. I can't take this nonsense anymore. Everybody has to just leave and just leave me in peace. And she packed her things and said she's going. I said, Lord, your daughter should have told them the truth of what happened to you, not saying I maltreated you. That was why they call social services for me.
But you see, the point is that you're still with your husband.
Yes.
Thank you. That's what I want to know. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. As a woman, you are configured for blessing. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. As a woman, you see, if you realize who you are as a woman, you will carry yourself much, much higher than what you're thinking of yourself in the corridor of thinking that somebody is talking down at you. You carry yourself because it suits the man it came for you. So you are a woman that you are configured for blessing. And when you join a man, you become one in union. And the man's life should increase, should better, should rise up, should go forward. You understand? So also your life should move forward. And both of you should add values to each other's life. Both of you should add values to each other's life. So it's not a mistake for you to marry your husband or for your husband to marry you. It isn't a mistake. It is a mistake when your husband has a marriage and come and sneak to stay with you. It is a mistake. Because at the end of the day, it will mean that you are having somebody else's man in your house. And at any time, that person can come for it. It will be a mistake. I have a scenario yesterday or 2 days ago. And I said it at the beginning of this program. Let me reiterate again. He has living in Nigeria already with 4 children. And he lied to the British girl there that he has never married. Never told the British girl that he's got or living in Nigeria. 4 children as well. And all the 4 children, funny enough, were older than the British girl's child. So that is a prolific liar. That man is a prolific liar. And I don't think such a young lady deserves that kind of punishment. Let's get that right. And the woman back in Nigeria, she's aware that her husband is getting married to a woman in London, to a British woman. And she's happy. She doesn't care. As long as he sent money to her and her children, as long as her name is on the property, as long as her everything, she doesn't care. It is the British girl that is now suffering from that pain to now realize that, oh, I'm married to a liar. My husband has a living and 4 children back there. And the British girl is not a Nigerian dissident. So she's being treated as if she's nobody. Now, when that kind of a woman take a step forward, men will be saying that, oh, she's wicked. They have come for advice in my office. They have come for advice in my office. I am not disclosing that advice. But I want to encourage you as a woman. I want to encourage you as a woman that you are configured for blessing. Don't let anybody think that you cannot make it. I want to encourage you, if you are not with a job because of one reason or another, go into education. Even if you are taking care of kids, you are breastfeeding, you are at home taking care of your children at the moment, I will personally encourage you, do online training. Make yourself busy. Don't spend all your life watching what is going on social media. It doesn't worth it. What is going on social media is not something you need to exacerbate your life to a better future. You need something much more interesting. I only come on social media when I want to do talk. As soon as I finish, I'm off. It's people that send me, these people always send me the clips of what is going on. They will inbox me. And when I open it, if it doesn't make sense, I close it, I delete it. If it makes sense, I listen. But if it doesn't make sense, I delete it off because I don't have time to waste on things that doesn't fetch money for me. And so also I want you to start encouraging yourself from that angle. Don't spend your time on something that doesn't even encourage your destiny, that doesn't even put your destiny forward, that doesn't even bring money, doesn't bring progress, doesn't bring success, doesn't enhance your spiritual ability to pray all the time. I don't know about you. If I stay on social media late, I will not be able to pray properly. I get weak. And when you weak, Satan can attack you through that. So don't stay late on social media. It doesn't worth it. You need your family. You need your time. So you must spend time with your family. And I see that there is a lot of, there are so many things that people do not realize. Before I leave the channel today and I start taking questions, I won't take questions. Now I want to finish before I now open the floor. I realized that I opened floor too early for that young lady, but that's fine. I'm going to open floor, but I want to finish. You see, both men and women, both man and a woman, you need to realize that you are made differently. So you must always sell yourself, invaluable. You must always carry yourself, portray yourself in a better way. See yourself, check mirror. I am made for God. I am beautiful. I am handsome. I am better. I can do this. I can do that. Look at mirror. Encourage yourself first through side mirror. Look through mirror and look at who is talking. In the first instance, who are you that is talking? You look at the mirror and look at yourself through that and see whether what you are saying making sense. You understand? So you have to be creative and dynamic. And you have to have so much respect for yourself before man. You've got to have so much respect for yourself. A woman that doesn't have respect from her husband is because possibly you're idle, you're disrespecting him, you're arrogant, you don't have business, you don't have education, and your time is valueless. You need invaluable time. That's what you need. You need something that will take you to the next level. Something to encourage you, something to cheer you, something to push you forward. You need to equip yourself with information. You see, a lot of times I realize that when you have money and you don't have information, you waste that money on seeking information. But when you have information, you have information, you can sell it to those who have money. And that's what they don't know. When you are quiet, it doesn't mean you are stupid. Only empty barrel make noise, empty drum make noise. You understand? If you follow you don't make too much noise. You do things and let that thing happen before you beat your drum. Don't beat your drum before it happens. Okay? Do things quietly. Don't discuss it with third party. Some people don't have a good destiny to discuss things before it happens. They don't have that luck on their side. So when you discuss things before it happens, you lose that mentality of pursuing that thing on time. So don't discuss it. Somebody like me, I don't discuss things before I do it. Apart from sharing it with my husband, I don't share things with anybody who is there for me to share it with. It's either they steal your ideas or they spiritually they demoralize you and your spirit is gone, is low, and you're unable to do it. And if you're somebody that doesn't have that love, then there's no need to make ariwo. Ariwo kind of music. So what you will need as a woman to enjoy your relationship, to enjoy your man, is to make yourself busy. Have business, have education, have work, have jobs. Apart from rearing child as if you're rearing cattle, having kids, like as if you're bringing out your eggs all the time. That's not what you need. You need to, in again, they will say, oh, cut it. You know, do treatment, fertility, what is it called? This kind of treatment you do to birth control. You know, it's not about having 4 children, 5 children. You can't use children to tack man down. Not nowadays anymore. Gone are the days. That's not possible. You cannot say because I have 4 children for him, he's not going to go anywhere. Or because I have 5 children, he's not going to go anywhere. You're deceiving yourself. That is not possible. If a man is going to go, he's going to go because it's just a waka boy. When it's a waka boy, when you meet a waka boy will always drop children everywhere and go. But somebody that have already vouched in his life that he's not going to let any woman take his children away from him, that man deserves some respect. Family planning, thank you. You know, don't say because of papers you have to have 4 children, 5 children. I remember some family came to me and said they have 5 children or 6 children. I said, kilo day. And they're all possibly looking for fee waiver or looking for public fund. I said, what is the problem? You want to kill my government? And we cracked that joke. I said, that is too much now. Because I think the baby is another just 6 months or 7 months again. And I said, why are you doing this thing? And I said to those families that you will regret it when the school university fee started. Yeah, they will regret it when they start doing the school university fees, because university fees, I doubt it if it will come down. If they reduce it, they will refund all of us that we have paid with our cash. So university fees is not going to come down. If it's going to come down, the government will have to refund all of us that have paid through our nose. So it's impossible. So you cannot be having kids in that manner to say, oh, because of public funds or because of government or because of papers, and then you overload your home and put burden on yourself. It doesn't allow a woman to excel. Because the childminder problem is there, taking care of them is there, do this, do that. So there's no way you can excel when you are having 5 children, 6 children, all this, and they are just one after the other, one after the other. You need to do birth control. It doesn't mean that every sex must turn to pregnancy. No, it doesn't make sense to me. Every sex must not turn to pregnancy. If not, the whole world will have been more than, how many billions are we in the world? We will have been more than that if there's no birth control. And there could have been a lot of HIV out there if there's no control of things. So I need to encourage you. You've got to do birth control as well, so that the little you have time to take care of them to your satisfaction. Clients were in this office earlier on, when kids closed from school, 3:15 they finished, and they were on the streets of Woolwich here, making noise unnecessarily at 5 o'clock. What for? What for? Where are the responsible adults in their life? Calling them, where are you? School closed at 3:15. Are you in the house? Where is the person that's supposed to be responsible for that particular person in his life? The question I am asking is that you've got to control things. For women, you have to do birth control. The world is moving fast. You cannot afford to be having 5, 6 children and thinking that is the best way to tack a man down. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a pack of lies. That's not possible anymore. So you need to look after yourself, number one. And there are some women that have been warned in the hospital that, oh, you've had 3 cesareans, you can't have 4th one. They still go ahead and go and get pregnant. Who is to blame if anything go wrong and you died as a result of it? You can't blame anyone. And that man will still live his life if you die today. So you really need to put yourself back. Realize who you are. You know, realize yourself. Put yourself back into the normal person that you're supposed to be. Put yourself back in that situation and enjoy your life first. Enjoy your life. Don't forget, I mentioned earlier on, you must try to go on holidays. Get out. You don't need papers to go to Scotland, to Cardiff. And if you're in Lagos, you don't need papers to go into any of those classical hotel in Lekki, in Victoria Island and Ikoyi. You don't need papers. You don't need passport. But you need to get out and have time. I realize that a lot of working women and men in Nigeria are having problems because everybody is on the road and they leave it with they leave their child with what is it called, omodo or whatever they call it, assistant there in the house, and those assistants maltreat their omo in the house. They maltreat those children because mommy and daddy are at loggerhead. They want to do everything equally. It's not possible. It's not possible. You see that you find a way to part-time yourself and have time for your children as a woman. That's the best way. When my kids were growing, I part-time myself. And as a result of my kids is what made me set up my practice for myself. Yes. So sometimes every disappointment in life is a blessing. Every journey in life, if you look at it carefully, there is a message communicating to you there. If you're smart and intelligent, you will see that in a journey you are going through, there is something that you have to make use of positively at the end of that journey. Because it's as a result of me having problem with childminder, running up and down, childminder not taking care of my children the way I wanted. I changed to part-time. From part-time, I decided to set up a practice for myself. I said, listen, enough of all this. I'm going to set up practice. I'm going to start taking care of my kids from there. So I tell my child, the older child that time, when you close from school, come straight to the office. As you see, all my children can write client care letters. Since the age of 10, 11 years old, I've trained my children to do client care letter at the age of 10, 11, 12 years old in my office. Client care letter is like an agreement between law practice and clients. All my children were trained to know how to do client care letters. Because when they close from school, when they were younger, they come straight to the office and come and work, come and take phone call. They have the manners of how to say money bright way, immigration, money bright way, this, primary, that. So they know what to do. They know how to answer my calls. When they are younger, much younger, about 10, 11 years or 12, I have trained them. That is down to a woman. It is down to you to see how you want to handle your family. Because at the end of the day, it is you that will be responsible if anything go wrong. And don't forget, the time of a woman to have kids is so short. Will somebody be expecting me to be pregnant at this age now? Am I not going to be thinking of the child cost? Am I not going to be thinking of when the child wakes up in the night and crying on my head when I'm supposed to have my nap and sleep? All those things make your life so miserable. So I want to encourage you as a woman first. Stand up for yourself, know what you want, and empower yourself. Encouragement is to train yourself. Get a job, do business, or go to your school. Retrain yourself, rebrand yourself, rediscover yourself. And that's what we need. You have to rediscover yourself. You see, as you see me, there is nobody I cannot talk to. Nobody. But what I was properly trained of is that avoid unnecessary communication. That doesn't worth it. Avoid it at all costs. There are some situations that you must learn to avoid it. There are some situations in life that when you see, you say, oh, waste of time. It's not worth getting involved with. It's not worth exchanging for. It's not worth talking about. Anything that will not fetch me progress, that will not fetch me success, that will not fetch me money, that will not fetch me credibility, that will not enhance my knowledge in law and as a public speaking person, I don't get involved with it. I don't get involved. And I don't reply to it because it's not worth it. But I realize that the women of today's date, they get involved in things that doesn't concern them. And they leave their home at stake. They get involved in things that doesn't concern them. And they leave their home at stake. I'm encouraging you. Please like and share this video to all women in the world. This Women's Summit 2019 is to encourage you as a woman. Take care of your man. Take care of your home. And do it properly. If you earn more than your husband, that doesn't mean you should put him down. No. Doesn't mean that you should look down onto him. If God wants you to look down onto him, he won't put Adam before Eve. Don't think that Jacob hasn't got other children, daughters in the Bible. His goddaughters. Apart from that lady, that girl that had problem with a man that his brothers were, her brother went to go and rescue her from rape so that the brothers didn't let them rape her. There are other daughters in the Bible of Jacob. Don't think there are no daughters for Jacob. Jacob had daughters, but they were not mentioned. So we should try to place ourselves very well. We should try to know who we are, encourage each other, and let's move on smoothly. You see, our position, the principle of it is that we are invaluable at home. You see, if you realize your position as a woman, when you are not in the house, sometimes the dad and the children are lazy to cook. They say, let your mother come, Jare, let your mother return. Sometimes they argue. Sometimes children argue and say, Daddy, if mommy is in the house now, we would have eaten. That is privilege for you to know that you are important, you are invaluable. But don't take your position as a woman for granted. You see, the principle of success and everything in life, it's just led to self-confidence and determination. And to have a successful relationship and marriage is about self-confidence and determination. What do you want? You see, if you go into a relationship with game, you will meet a game player of your caliber. Trust me. If you think you are in a relationship, you just want to play a game, you will meet a game player that is much higher than your class. Because God is not just an ordinary person. If you go into a relationship and I just want to go and play a game there, believe me, you will meet. Some men in life have gone into a relationship and mistakenly they have met their own size. They met their own size in that relationship, and it's difficult for them to bow because she's more smarter than him. Or even if she go into it to play a game, he is more smarter than her. So regardless of your religion or belief, you should work hard and pray hard before you can have success in your pocket, in your bag, in your domain, in your possession around you. Success is everywhere flying. But for success to come closer to you, you have to be a person that is very prayerful. You can see above all, you must know God. Whether you are a Muslim, whether you are a Christian, whether you are a herbalist, whether you are whatever you believe and you are worshiping, you understand that you call to. Nobody can tell you not to call your God that you believe. Nobody is telling you that. But what you have to do is that you have to be truthful with it. And you have to be upright and be prayerful. Because if you're not prayerful, Satan is looking for every successful person to derail. So if you think you have arrived, you are untouchable, you are a waste of time, you are joking. The only way to arrive successfully is to be prayerful and be on guard. Prayer and be watchful. If you pray and you've not been so watchful, you're careless in everything. And don't be careless. A person you call a friend today can be an enemy tomorrow. So you must have a guard. You must never lose your guard. Don't lose your guard at any situation. Don't lose your guard in any ramification. Always ensure that you have your guard with you. A friend today can turn to enemy tomorrow. Do not lose your guard as a woman. I want to encourage you as a woman out there. Reduce the numbers of people you allow to sleep over in your house. Most marital problem is as a result of too many people coming into the house. Let me quickly tell you a story before I open the phone line. Gone are the days a lady told me that her mother used to entertain people to come to the house, the mother-in-law, the sister-in-law, the friend, the this and that. So one day, the dad of the lady was sick, which means the mom's husband was sick. So they've taken the dad to the hospital. They're trying to look for the resolution, look for way out. What's the problem? What's the nature of his sickness? They went to the hospital. The hospital, it was a Nigerian situation. The hospital said, no, this is not a medical doctor situation. You know, some doctors are clever and intelligent and very gifted. So the medical doctor says, no, this is not an hospital situation. That this is something that is wrong with your husband. Do you have visitor in the house, or do you always allow visitors to come to the house? The mom said no. So the daughter said, no, mommy, you always have friends. You always have daddy's family. You always have this. You always have that coming to the house. So they argue and argue and argue. But at the end of the day, what happened is that the doctor, not knowing that the doctor is spiritually gifted, So the doctor said that they should go back into the house, that one of those people that came to the house to visit them, they have dropped something in the house that is making that makes that daddy sick, because he has stepped on something in the house. So they were in the house and looking for what will have been the thing that they've dropped. At the end of the day, they opened carpet and opened everything. They realized that one of those family that came to the house have dropped black charms, have dropped it in the house, bringing confusion in the family, making them unrest, having problems, sickness, everybody, because of what? Because of jealous. Because of jealous. Seeing them making it successful. So, at the end of the day, there is no other way around it than to curb the numbers of people you entertain in your matrimonial home, in your house. Curb the numbers of people you disclose your secret to. Know who to trust. Because you should only know your belly, your stomach, and you can never know somebody else. Do you know what is in my mind? You don't. God has done it in a way that unless I talk, you can't know who I am. You can't. You can't know what is in my mind. How would you know it? Even if you say you are spiritually gifted, and you guess it wrong. I've seen so many people talking nonsense in my lifetime and say, and this person call himself a prophet, call herself prophet, and is speaking out of context. Unless somebody speak out and tell you, you will not know. So you need to reduce the numbers of things coming out of your mouth secretly that you disclose to people outside. You've got to learn how to do that. That is very important. But above all, what you need is prayer. Without prayer, you cannot do anything. And I realize that so many times, a lot of people are praising themselves. Even some men are praising themselves, self-appraiser. You don't need self-appraiser and say, oh, I buy her car. So what? If you buy her car, is that a new thing? Did you not sleep with her? Did she sleep with herself to have that children for you? So you should stop saying that you buy her car. I bought her this, I bought her that. No, I'm not interested. Don't tell me that you bought your wife a car. You bought your wife a land. You bought this. So what? What is new about buying a woman a car? There's nothing new about it. So change your style of talking. You cannot boast on that. So stop the self-appraise. You know, a lot of times you do that self-appraise and say, oh, I bought my wife a car. Or I usually get my husband this and that. To hell with where you're getting it from and who's saying that. Nobody needs that. You know? So don't forget, in everything you do, don't do self-appraisal. Let your partner praise you. Let your spouse praise you. Do not do yourself a self-appraisal and say, listen, I do this for him. I do this for that. I bought her car. I bought her this. I bought her that. It is your duty as a man. In fact, where I come from traditionally in Nigeria, let's spell it out, in Yoruba land, yeah, it is your duty to put the food on the table. If she doesn't want to work and say, I want to take care of the children, if it's in Nigeria, so be it. So be it. I know Rich also cries. That is not a new scenario. Rich also cries. But so be it if she said, I want to be a full-time wife. In Hollywood in US, there are full-time wives there and say Hollywood wives. It's only in Nigeria they don't have Nollywood wives because they have too many wives. The Nigerian actors and actresses, concubines and husband, wife and concubines. That's how they carry it. So they don't have Nollywood husband, Nollywood wives. In America, there are Hollywood wives. They don't work. They don't work. The husbands are heavily paid. So they mortgage everything, the properties full-time. So they take kids to school. And you see Chelsea wife. They call them Chelsea wife in London. They use Jeep. Chelsea wife use Jeep. You want to be in the category in class, you use Jeep in Chelsea. So they drop kids to school and they go back and meet at the tea point where they drink tea and talk and chat and discuss things and take care of the house and get things ready. That's what they want to do. And that's how they chose to do it. So if you want to become a full-time housewife or you want your wife to become a full-time housewife, you have to put a smile in her face. Oh, yes. If that's what you want, full-time housewife, put smile in her face. Apart from you paying the mortgage, you have to buy a car for her to drop the kids to school. It's a full-time job. God bless Lord Denny Mister as a supreme judge, as a senior judge at that time. Lord Denny Mister on equity land law. He says whoever comes to equity must come with clean hands. So if you want to complain that your wife is not doing that, and she's working full-time, you got to balance it up at the end of the day and share the responsibility in the house, my dear brothers. If you want your wife to do everything, then make her full-time housewife. Make her full-time housewife. Buy a car to drop the kids to school. Afford to pay the mortgage and pay all the bills in the house. And let her take care of you and the children in the house. It's so simple. There is no agony in that. I can't see any problem in that. If that's what you wanted for yourself, to make you happy. So the question I'm asking you is, brothers and sisters, what are you doing to help yourself this year, 2019? What are you doing to elevate yourself? You see, what you have to realize that opinion share is crucial. You don't lose anything when you share with your spouse, with your partner. You gain everything. You are still even in total control of your life. You will be happy with your family, and your family will be happy with you. You gain everything if happiness is found within home. Both he and she, husband and wife, both of you gain a lot if happiness is found within home. Today it has been said, and we have investigated and seen the statistics, many couples are investing separately. Many couples are investing separately. Do your own, I do my own. They build house, he built house, she built house. She built her own house, he built his own house. And the funniest thing is that she may not want to go to Nigeria. He will be sending money, siphoning money to Nigeria to buy pound, to buy this, to buy bricks, to buy cement, to buy this, and asking another woman to be in charge when the legitimate wife is here struggling to pay bills on her own by herself. In everything you do in life, the fear of God should be your supremacy, your primary objective, which will mean that's the beginning of showing that you are a wise man. When you have conscience, in anything you do, conscience will make you stand out in the society and say, you are wise, you have wisdom. You have to fear God. When you are dealing in that kind of situation, you must fear that woman. You must think about it. That, oh, if I'm sending money, because sometimes some of the money you are sending home, it doesn't even reach its destination. And you never pay the right bills here in the country where your wife and the children are. Your wife and the children are struggling to pay bills on their own. And you are siphoning money to Nigeria that you want to build a business center, you want to build a factory, you want to build this, you want to build that. If that God is not on your side because you are punishing that woman, you know that thing can go in vain. You know that thing can go in vain if care is not taken. Hey, it could go in vain if care is not taken. So I want to encourage you. You know, I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to please, problem share is problem solved. Communicate with your partner, communicate with your wife, communicate with your husband. Woman, don't build house behind your husband's knowledge. Don't buy house without your husband's consent. Don't buy land without your husband's consent. Don't send your brother. Don't send your sister to buy land and say that, I want to keep it. I don't know what will happen tomorrow. It's not a wise move. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. When you are sending that money to the country to tell them to build house, to build this for you, you forgot the kids over here, bills not paid, woman not taking, you're not taking proper care of your woman in the house, and you're just sending money. As soon as you get salary, you are sending, and you lie to that woman that you are broke. You know you have used your mouth to say you are broke. You know you have said to that woman that you are broke. Mistakenly, if you just sit and say that's how you'll be broke for the rest of your life, who are you going to blame? Because you are not broke, but you lied to say you are broke because you are sending money for wrong thing. You are sending money to do wrong project at the wrong time. The project could have been done and will be done when the time comes or the time permits you guys. But at the stage that you guys are struggling to pay bills in the country where you are living, I think that should be the primary objective to focus on. My question to you, without pointing fingers, who is to blame in a situation of this type? Is there a missing element that couple fail to discover in order to have happiness? Who are you going to blame? Is there a missing element? That's the question I'm asking. Is there a missing element, a missing ingredient that makes a man do something separately from his wife, or that makes a woman do something separately from her husband? Is there a missing element? That is something that we need to look at. I am not here to put blames on anybody. I am here to enlighten us, to educate us, to encourage us. The purpose of the summit today is to encourage. If the missing element is trust, according to Abiodun Omojo, Omolomo, John, they said the missing element is trust. And that shouldn't happen. Trust should not go missing in relationship. The moment trust is missing, you will be checking on each other. Every second, every minute, every time. You'll be checking phone, checking who called in, who called this. Trust is what you need. And I'm glad that they said it here. There is trust that's missing. But having said that, a lot of women, because of their stature, and when I say stature, I'm not talking about your height like mine. You understand? When I say stature, I'm not talking about your height. When I say stature, I'm talking about your career progression. I'm talking about your success. I'm talking about your investment, your wealth, your achievements, your skills, your knowledge, your eloquency. Lot of women, because of their stature, they fail to see themselves as a woman, thinking that they're a man. One thing you have to realize in life is that God does not make mistake to create you as a woman. God does not make mistake to create you as a woman, neither does he make mistake to create him as a man. The balance of sincerity and trust is what you need to find and make sure that you balance it and trust each other. Don't use your stature against your man, because already men are made. So whether they have stature or they don't have stature, that is them. That's separate. But once a woman have stature, they want to use it upon their man. You can't. It doesn't allow relationship to last. It doesn't bring happiness at all. Your stature does not bring happiness. Your stature is your luck. Your stature is your personal, your destiny achievement. The video is yours. The video is already in the public. I don't have control over it anymore. The video is yours. The summit I brought out today is yours. The video is not mine. I'm not talking about status. I talk about stature. Check your dictionary. I am not talking about status. I'm talking about stature. You know? Pedigree. When you look at your stature, you look at your pedigree, your achievements, your success, your salary, your career progression. But you cannot use it against the man in your marriage, your relationship. You can't. And don't forget, when you made a complaint, like I said about Lord Dennis Mister, which is one of the most high judges of time in our landlord those days before he died. When I was studying law in my first year, I think he died very early 90s. He died, 1990, whatever he died. I thought he has died about, God knows, 100 years back, because his name rang heavily under landlord and equity law. Lord Dennis says that whoever comes to equity must come with clean hands. So before you made a complaint, you need to check your role at home. Take a mirror, ask yourself a question. Are you performing your role as a wife and as a husband? Both of you, take a mirror, look back, pause, and check yourself. Am I performing my role as a man? Am I doing my duty as a husband? Am I performing my role as a woman? Am I doing my duty as a wife? And am I doing my duty as a mother? A lot of children that are gone astray and in detention, in prison today, as a result of lack of good upbringing, lack of good parental responsibility, that brought them to that situation whereby they get themselves involved in a situation that doesn't concern them, and they grow into it and it becomes so escalated. and they're so addicted and difficult to come out of it. It's as a result of lack of good parental responsibility. And that is why I give kudos to some single parents out there that still manage to keep their children with them in the house. I give them kudos. So what is wrong with you couples? If single parents can manage to keep a child, or you tell me what exactly is the problem? We need to look at it from that angle. We need to look at it from that angle. So you need to ask yourself, if as a man, ask yourself, if it's your sister, if she's your sister, would I allow her to go through what she's going through in my hands? Ask yourself as a man, would I allow her to go through what she's going through? That's what you need to ask yourself. So ladies and gentlemen, without taking your time, without spoiling your Friday evening, finding a husband is hard. When you find a handsome one, the brain is empty, according to some people that put it out there. But I'm not going too much into that one. But I want to encourage you. You need to review your friend list. That is the only way out of this problem. So Luwala, some men are using their stature on their wife, man. They can't do that. They can't do that because they are made already as a leader and as a breadwinner. So they are punishing themselves when they are doing that. It's the women that we need to encourage not to use their stature on their men, on their man. A woman must not use her stature on a man. You need to review your friend list and cut it down bit by bit. Cut it down bit by bit. 2019, we just started. Today is just only 25th of January 2019, so it's just the beginning. Go and review your list of people that you encounter, that you meet every day, that you are chatting with, that you are seeing, that you go out with, that come to your house. Review your list. It's very important. You know, run far away from man or woman who lives without a purpose. Don't mingle with them. Spend your valuable time with people who want to add value as an individual to your lives. Spend time with them. Celebrate yourself. Each of you celebrate yourself as a couple all the time. Your positive attitude towards each other attract better results for you and at home, and for children upkeeping or bringing. It allows the children to grow well. It is not a crime if there is a fight between couples. There is nothing bad in that. Nobody is perfect. But it's a crime, it's a sin before God. If you fail to find a resolution to solve the problem, and you think the best way forward is to bring a divorce document to the house and say, I want to divorce. I am quickly coming to say that scenario before I leave. So I want to encourage you, reduce the friend list. Calm it down, bit by bit. Mingle with people that got same attitude, dreams, and value, that will add values to your life. Don't forget, don't get carried away. It is very, very important that you make sure that you add value. You know, you mix with people that can add value to your lives. And that's what you need, you know. So it's very important. Reduce unnecessary friendship that you are making with people. The gossip chat line, anything gossip. Find valuable time to do something invaluable. Share dreams with somebody who's going somewhere. Don't travel with people that hasn't got anywhere to go, that are heading to nowhere. By this, you know that you are heading somewhere in 2019. It is just the beginning of the year. So we're still doing okay. We're on the right edge, right path. Ladies and gentlemen, the line is opened on 07908-628-240 for 10 minutes to just take 1 or 2 phone calls before I round it up, you know. The line is open, 07908-628-240, if anyone wants to call in and share their experience, you know. And don't forget, the law has changed. The law changes since when I was doing my first year LLB law. That's when they have changed the law on rape matter. Husband and wife, a man can be charged for rape. So don't forget, if you're saying that she's my wife, I married her, I can force her to sleep with, you are playing with prison sentence. So be careful on rape charges. Today, women of nowadays, You got to be careful, men. If she's saying that she's not consenting or she's tired, she doesn't want it, don't force your woman to sleep with. If you force her and she reports you, you'll be charged for rape. So don't make mistake. Don't say that she's my wife, we are married, I can force her. Don't force. You got to find balance and understand each other. Sexual consenting. If there is no consent in that sex and you force it, you might be playing with prison. So be careful. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I have done my part today to the community and to the world at large. My name has not changed. I am Mrs. Tokunbo Olagbaye. Everybody know me as LTO, Pretty Lawyer, Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye. I want to thank you all for coming on my platform, for joining me on this beautiful program. I love you all, and please take this video and review it again when you have time. I might not have time to revisit it, but please take the video and revisit it and review it and use it to encourage yourself. You can do it. You know, you can do it. Thank you, Uweade Omalashabi. Thank you. The law came to effect early 90s. Thank you, Uweade. Thank you. That's it. You see, I've told you when somebody talk and somebody said, yes, it is. You will know that it's not fiction. I won't bring anything that is not right to you here. So I want to encourage you, all of you. Please find time and communicate with your partner, with your husband, with your wife, and balance it up. And it's the only way to have a peace, fruitful evening, or fruitful home, or peaceful mind, or progression in career, in life. Until you find that balance, you know, progression is difficult, you know. So I say thank you. Thank you. I want to say thank you to all of you, and I appreciate you for coming on board. I know it's difficult to discuss the topic. I give that woman that call a kudos, you know. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to unite with my family on Friday evening, so I've got to go now. I love you all. Until next time, with great humility, I appreciate you, and I say thank you to all of you. Women's Summit 2019 on this platform is what I did today, just to encourage both men and women to know how to find balance at home, to make each other happy. Don't forget, I encourage you, always try to go out Friday evening, always try to travel, always try to go out on travel weekend. It doesn't have to be overseas hotel, overseas holiday. Find balance. That's what you need. And for those who are waiting on a good one, I pray and I use this method, this line to connect with my God and connect with all of you, that the Lord will provide for you. You will not cry, and nobody will cry. I cover you with the blood of Jesus. Thank you for loving me, and I love you all. Thank you so much. There's somebody calling us. Should we take that call and listen to that thing quickly? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hi there.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. Please go ahead, because I want to round up. I want to go.
Hello?
Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to say thank you very, very much.
Pleasure. Pleasure is mine. Pleasure is mine.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
But I'm so happy.
Thank you.
God bless you. May God give you long life and prosperity.
Amen. Pleasure is mine. Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
I'm going to reward you today.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes. Thank you, dear. Bye-bye.
All right.
Thank you so
bye-bye.
much. Thank you. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got to go now. I want to appreciate all of you. Until next time you see me online, I haven't changed my name. I haven't changed my position. I haven't changed my attitude towards people. I still remain humble. I don't get set myself into a situation that doesn't worth it. So I want to say I appreciate all of you. I love you. Don't forget, I am yours and you are mine. And nothing can take me away from you. And nothing can take all of you from me. I love you until next time when we come back again. Take care for now. Tokunbo Olagbaye. Bye.